Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. So in today's video, we're going to be doing a tier list on end game bossing. Now, I do want to make a point that a lot of these classes in this tier list are good at almost every stage of the game in bossing and not just ultra end game bossing. And almost every single class in this tier list is playable no matter what. So if you do end up picking a class that's somewhere near the bottom of the tier list, it's okay. These tier lists are subject to change with certain balance updates, and there is going to be a balance change coming in April potentially in KMS, so things can always change. Don't feel bad if you picked a class lower on the tier list. But with that being said, guys, I hope you do enjoy the tier list for today, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Take it easy. Peace.
This is going to be an end game party bossing tier list from C Kalos and above. This is going to factor into which classes are good in what boss. So if it's really good in like Limbo, we'll talk about that. If it's not good in hard calling.
And of course, there are going to be like GMS is going to be factored into it, because obviously the meta in GMS is a little bit different than other regions, with having Lynn and attack speed and everything like that as well. So that will also be included into the tier list. Okay.
Yes, we're going to start with Bishop, of course. Everybody knows.
Definitely a must-have. Now, it's not as much of a must-have as it used to be. Obviously, Bishop did get nerfed, but the class is still one of the best final damage givers to the entire party. The class itself does damage. Very good damage.
As well, it's not like it was before where it's just like red dot too. You have to have this shit. Isn't must-have if you a red dot, blue dot Bishy. Like must-have is for green dot Bishy.
That is, it's up here as must-have because of the healing capabilities it gives to the entire party as well. This spell that it gives to the entire party. Shell, like all these utilities that you don't really think about while having a bishop, and you probably take for granted when you're running with a bishop. These are very good qualities to have.
Literally every single boss it makes easier. Running with and without a bishop is a massive difference in just the quality of life. Next up on this list, we are moving to Arc for party bossing. This shit is just in meta, bro. It's not in must-have, it's meta. The raw damage output on its burst, the damage is getting off. On its origin burst, it's giving final damage. It's also giving more final damage to archers as well.
It's giving 30 attack, 20% crit rate, 1 attack speed, 20% damage, 31 boss, 20% IED, 7 FD, 2-minute class. It has literally the same burst as most 3-minute classes. It's very good.
Also too, it's a 2-minute class, which right now 2-minute is very good. Next on this list, Illium. Another very good class. Illium is insanely good. Its damage output is crazy, but it's also offering a whole party iframe for 10 or 8 seconds, I believe.
10 seconds. 10-second iframe on Illium, which is absolutely insane. Pretty much a second Jenny. The class's mobility is absolutely insane. This class can play 2-minute. It is a 3-minute class though.
And if you can find a juiced up Illium, you should definitely take it in a party bossing scenario. It excels in every single boss. It excels in Kalos. It excels in hard calling. It excels in Limbo 2.
AB.
This has to be good DPS, bro. Yes, endgame party bossing. Endgame party bossing.
Yes.
It's not down bad. This class is not down bad at all, bro.
It's not down bad. It is not down bad. AB does what it needs to do. It does give a little bit of FD as well. It gives 20% boss damage or 20% damage, which, I mean, it's not insane, but it's not bad either. There's not much to say about
there's not much to say. It's just a good DPS.
Nothing, it's in the middle, nothing crazy, not bad. If you play it, you're not down bad at all.
Yes.
You're not down bad. Adele, honestly, it's same place as AB. Class is fine. The class is good.
Is it though? Like, is it? I feel like it's just a can fill. Like, I feel like good DPSs are like the Nightlords, like those motherfuckers, like classes like that. Like, can fill. Like, if you're like, be honest though, like if you see an Adele, are you really taking that? The answer is literally no, unless they're you're only taking an Adele if it's juiced up.
I mean, yeah, like sure, I guess.
There's only one Adele clearing hard Limbo.
I mean, yeah, like I don't know, I guess, yeah.
I'm just saying the only time you'd really pick up an Adele is if it's really juiced up though. Like that,
I guess
that really is the only time.
Yeah, if you're assuming it's a 2-minute meta, then yeah, like Adele, I guess would be there. I mean, we can put it there.
Ooh, this shit shit low-key shredding, bro. This shit low-key shredding. This shit's at the top of good DPS, bro.
I mean, if you do take account in like how like simplistic it is too.
Actually, it is very simplistic. Bowmaster also is giving real SC2. That shit getting its damage off. If you party with the Bowmaster, you know you are always one and doneing shit. Like if the other two people are locked in or the other party members are locked in, you know the Bowmaster getting their burst off, bro. You know they're getting their burst off. And it also has crazy survivability. They're never dying out too of bossing. They're always getting their classes out off. And yeah, class won't die either. And it's so easy to play too. Like
BM is not DPM. It is a burst class.
Yes.
It is a burst class. People still to this day think that BM for some reason is a DPM class. It is literally a burst class. It is that's just what it is.
It has a 0 DPM. 0 DPM. Very bad. Very bad. Very bad. Aran. Is it really that bad? I mean, I guess a motherfucker who is 102k converted can't clear hard limbo. So the class gets back to its normal state after mastery 3 and 4.
That 90-second, bro. It's got that 90-second burst that's really, really good. But I mean, yeah, I think it needs buffs. Like I definitely think, I mean, Aran has to be worse than Adele. Like there's no way, right? It has to be underneath it.
Yeah, 100%. It's a class that needs buffs. It actually just needs buffs, especially in GMS right now. The only thing that's good about Aran though that I'll say is that it has really good movement. The movement is fire, but that's really about all it has going for it right now. Battle Mage. This class recently lost a shit ton of its damage, or not a shit ton of its damage, it lost a shit ton of its support that it used to give.
It's a can fill moment in my opinion.
It's like, low-key so foul. Like that's crazy.
It's foul. It's super foul. Like this class is, what is it giving now? 5 FD only, I believe.
I think it gives a less than 5. No. Oh, it's 7. It's 7.
Okay, perm 7, I guess. Yeah. You can still manage as a battle mage. It's just not like it was in a spot for a little while where you could almost consider this class OP.
We're gonna leave it at can fill, but not ideal. It's obviously good in every single boss because it is a support. Blaster. Okay, Blaster actually does a shit ton of damage right now. Blaster's low-key really good in the right hands. It's of course a way harder class to play. It is a 2-minute class as well. This shit goes crazy. I don't think I would say meta though.
It does not offer any support. Okay, that's a huge thing. It's definitely at the higher end of skill ceiling to play this class very well. And the damage isn't like insane to the point where it's like, holy shit. You're,
it's top DPS, but they're doing the fucking most for it. And that's on a dummy too. It's a DPM demon, bro. It is a DPM demon.
Good. If you play Blaster, you're definitely not down by any means. You're just moving on. Blaze Wizard, bro.
Blaze Wizard. It's just, it's the way the burst functions. It's the fact that it now gives but it gives way less FD now. Bursting on this class is like you're a brick wall. You're just stuck in one spot. Like it just does no damage either.
And you're locked in place. Like the class does no damage. It's like, dude.
Yeah, it's just not. It is not the greatest class.
This class needs buffs.
Desperately.
Like, immediately.
Desperately needs buffs.
Desperately does.
And you have to be in the circle. Blaze Wizards need to be buffed. Surely they'll get buffed. You can still party with a Blaze Wizard.
Yeah.
Very. I mean, it's not ideal at all.
Unfortunately, the class is sick. The class is cool, but like in the damage department, like it's a little bit lackluster.
Yeah, I'll put it ahead of Aran because that's actually true. It needs more than that.
Bucc
low-key go crazy.
Staying in good DPS. The class is very good. It's offering some sort of support as well too. The class is a good 90-second as well. Like it's insane. Bucc is underrated. If anything, Bucc is literally underrated right now in my opinion.
It's not the strongest 3-minute burst, but like it has really great DPM. It has a good 90-second as well. It's offering support too. The class is very easy to get the damage off. It has amazing survivability too. Cadena is going in meta, bro. This shit is insane. The damage is crazy on this class, bro.
The damage is insane, but like the origin on this class is just diabolical. Like the origin is so freaking good on this class.
So
like
good.
it is diabolical.
Fits perfectly as well with like the current meta. Like this shit shreds bosses, bro. Shreds bosses. It's a harder class, so again, like this is a harder class to get the damage off.
Gains a ton of damage being in a party, which is insane. But yeah, like the class overall difficult to play, but you do get rewarded from it. CM.
Actually, this class is so strange because of how the bursts work. it doesn't line up with other people's bursts too.
Yeah, the burst isn't anything crazy. Yeah, the support is pretty decent. It's giving 61 flat all stat, 25% all stat, and 30% damage as well. So I mean, it's giving some support, right? It's giving a bit more than Bucc. Like, the way that the class functions in a boss is like super awkward.
We gonna move it up to can fill, but not ideal. Like, you could, like, the class can function in the bosses and be like chill, but it's not the best damage dealer, but it also does give some support too, honestly. Corsair. This is another class that's just Giga Sleeper, bro.
It's the same support as Bucc, right? Like, it's still giving some support.
Corsair hidden OP. I don't think so. I think it's just a decent DPS, not a decent DPS. Yes. It's a DPS, but it's not someone
it has the opportunity to be good in the future. But right now, it's not that great. Right now, it's just mid.
Yes,
very mid.
Mid, and it goes stay mid for now. Darknight is 100%. This has to go in good DPS. This shit low-key sleeper broken. It's never dying. This shit's DPM is insane. The burst is pretty good too. I mean, just the overall damage output, and then how the survivability works on this class. Like, this shit rips, bro. Absolutely rips. With the Lynn meta, like, it's not super juiced up like the other classes above it are that benefit that much from Lynn. But it's still a super good DPS, so very good.
It's still very good. It's still very good. I feel like Darknight, even though we're not talking about Baldrix, but like, I feel like Darknight will do pretty decent in Baldrix, honestly.
Dawn Warrior. Look at how the meta has changed. Look at how the meta has changed. It used to go in must-have, and now it's at the fucking bottom.
2023, 2024, Destiny, boys. Oh my god, someone put me back in time. And look at how the meta has changed.
Okay, what FD does this give now? What FD does True Sight give? It's still perm FD, so it's valid.
It's 5 FD now, I believe.
6.67 for party bossing. That's at the bottom of can fill 100%. The damage is horrible. The on origin and then off origin are low-key identical.
And also the way that the burst works too is just really annoying. Like, a backloaded burst is super annoying. Yeah, it's long as well, so it doesn't take advantage of a lot of other things that other classes may take advantage of. Like, I don't know. Everything about it is just in a weird spot right now.
Y'all got something to look forward to. Y'all got something to look forward to, though, for sure, in the future. Sure. Demon Avenger has to be in good DPS, bro.
You know what I mean?
I mean, it's the meta that we're currently in. It's not. It's the same thing with Darknight. Like, where it's not gaining as much from this meta because it doesn't have like an insane 2-minute burst.
Like, the class is good. It's really good. It's very good. It's just it never really works properly in party bossing the way that you want it to. This 6-minute is pretty decent on it. The origin is actually not that bad.
Again, it's the strongest solo bosser. It has some of the fastest clear time solo bossing. We're not saying it's not good in solo bossing. In party bossing, it falls off a lot, though.
It is the best solo bosser in the entire game.
It's just not one of like the better like meta classes for party bossing right now.
We'll move on from Demon Avenger. Again, if this was solo bossing killers, it'd be at the very top.
Yes, of course.
But it's not, so it's not going to be.
Demon Slayer.
Demon Slayer.
This shit isn't meta.
Polar opposite meta.
Don't care,
it's
bro.
absolutely meta.
Has to go meta. Demon Slayer is one of the better classes in the game right now, bro. It is so good. The damage is extremely easy to get off.
I know this class is very good. The 2-minute itself, very strong, easy to get off.
Yep.
The origin, one of the better origins in the entire game.
Yes.
It does. It also does give 15 ID as well to party members, so that's also a plus.
Has good iframes too. Has multiple iframes too. Iframe during burst as well, which is insanely good.
We gonna move on. We gonna move on to DB. I'm gonna be honest. DB hot take. I think it's kind of underrated. Now, I'm not saying it's amazing, but I think people think this class is dog shit.
I think it's underrated. Honestly, I really do.
Like, it has a decent 6-minute. It's just awkward. That's why. It's just, again, it has the same problem as other classes here, where it's got those 90 seconds where it doesn't really fit well with the party comp.
Yes.
And it doesn't give any support. Like, the other thieves all give support, right? You have Nightlord's Frailty, and then you have Shadower's Smoke, which, like, Dual Blade's the only thief that's not giving anything.
I think DB is low-key one of the more underrated classes in the game. It's a good 3-minute class, has good DPM as well, low cooldown class, has a mini burst. I want to put it in good DPS, but I know that's a hot take. Like, people will disagree for sure.
You do have to work for your damage quite a bit on this class, and there is a lot of optimization on this class. Like, a good Dual Blade and a bad Dual Blade, they're doing night and day difference. I'm gonna be honest. I think that's one of the biggest problems with the class, low key. But
Evan.
thing.
Bro, Evan's weird because it's actually
awkward.
Giga Juice for like situational parties.
It's giving 10 FD like to mage comps. And it's like,
yeah,
it's
I want to put it in meta too, honestly, because of that, because it is endgame party bossing. So like, it honestly is kind of meta, but also too, it's like too situational where I don't think it can go in meta, honestly, low key.
It's meta if it's in the right party comp, but let's be real, like there's maybe 1, maybe 2 full mage party comps.
But it is a harder class to play as well, so that's something to take into account too. So I think it goes in good DPS.
There's a lot of micromanagement. I agree. Good DPS at the top. You could argue meta in the right situation, but like that's not going to be the case all the time. Fire poison.
It actually
dropped so much. I feel like it's dropped.
Shit is
so
bad in our current meta. It is not even funny, bro.
You could have maybe argued before top of can fill, bottom DPS before the Origin got nerfed. That Origin got nerfed into 1995. It runs into the same problem that CM, Corsair, and Dual Blade all have. It's awkward and it's like always bursting, it seems.
We don't have those cooldown hats either, so it makes it even worse. In GMS, I think where it is can fill but not ideal is fine. I would even low-key put it in a need buffs, honestly, but Hayato
works right now. Yeah, good DPS, like it's a bit awkward with like backloaded bursts and the way that like some of the bursts work and everything. Low key, I feel like it's not as bad as people put it out to seem. Like you could maybe argue in can fill maybe, but like that's what I'm saying. Backloaded burst is a bit annoying, but like if you're good at the class, which people at the end game are, good end game players probably don't run into that issue too much. Like they're probably fine. Like, if you're just ass, like, you're ass. Like, and you're gonna have the same problem on Nightlord and being like, well, they bound the boss outside of my roar.
Like, Def can fill? Alright, we're just gonna put it to fill. I feel like the majority are saying can fill too. Okay, hero. Okay. I don't, this is going... Yeah,
that's a hot take for some people.
This is this a hot take, bro?
Love
this
to
is
think
not,
that this is the
not
worst
going
class
here,
in the
bro.
game.
This is not going here. This
They
is a good
love
DPS,
to
bro. This is a great DPS. Hero is not shit. Hero is a very good, not a very good, it's a pretty good DPS. Like, it's just in the middle of the pack. It is easy to get off damage. It has iframes. Like, it's a 2-minute class.
Burst quick, 2-minute. Now, also to the majority, like this class is like Nightlord throw blasting, being able to extend it through server delay. Obviously, that's RNG. That's very niche. But you can gain a ton of damage just from RNG in this class.
Yes. I think it goes up there. Hero rips, bro. Now, Hoyoung. It has to go at the top of good DPS though. Like this shit low-key rips, bro. Listen, if you play in Hoyoung at an endgame level, you should be good at playing the class.
It's like the upgraded version of Adele. Like they function very similarly, but like
like
Hoyoung is better at literally everything. It's better at everything.
Like
that's how I look at Hoyoung.
I mean, I think that's a good spot. I think in the middle of good DPS is good.
I would even say you move it up higher on good DPS. I'm gonna be honest. Like there ain't no way we're putting this shit behind Evan. Like let's be real. I think it goes at the top. Low key. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest.
Ice Lightning. Ice Lightning is really good right now, bro. This shit actually is sleeper good. Not sleeper good.
It's sleeper.
Like,
no, this is sleeper.
This
is actually sleeper, bro. This is actually a sleeper class. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Like Ice Lightning, very sleeper. Very sleeper.
It's a good DPS, bro. Very good DPS. It's very good DPS. It's a 2-minute class. It has a good 2-minute burst as well. Fits perfect with Lynn meta as well.
A lot of people don't know this. Like Ice Lightning has a longer bind, like Kanna does.
Oh yeah,
so that's
longer
also
bind
a little bit
too.
of support as well.
That's actually valid.
You can throw in there.
Moving on to Kain. Kain is another good DPS. Like there's a lot of good DPSs. Kain doesn't have the strongest off origin burst. This is a very strong 6-minute class. This shit goes
very
crazy with Lynn. Literally insane with Lynn, bro. Honestly, this shit is like so juiced.
If you were gonna do a 2-3 minute split comp for hard limbo, now obviously I'm not saying that this whole list is only based off of hard limbo. I'm just using an example. Like this is the class to have for the 6-minute, 3-minute awaken. Like the origin on this class is diabolical, especially with the awaken. It's very good. I would say it's definitely harder than other classes to play. Like it's definitely not a like you just hold down one button like a Nightlord kind of thing where you just like one button is your main DPS. There's definitely some comboing that you have to do with it, but I wouldn't say it's like the most difficult class in the world either. Like you probably get the hang of it pretty quickly.
Kaiser.
What I was gonna say, this is the epitome of like, it could be like, depending on the tier list, it's like good or bad.
No, like it's not good for like getting awakened, but like the damage like goes kind of crazy. Like it does go there, bro. Honestly,
if we're specifically speaking of party, which we are in the tier list, so we got to keep things consistent. This shit is ass. But
I mean, true.
But
in party bossing, yeah.
In solo bossing, this class is fucking overpowered. Like in solo bossing, this class is amazing. Crazy movement, crazy DPM.
We can keep it there, bro. It's just not a good party bossing class. You ain't never gonna pick up a Kaiser in this meta because it has no fucking burst, bro. Kanna goes in must-have for X-Kalos. Like, it's so good for X-Kalos.
The cooldown on domain is giga ass, okay? That is ass, especially when it comes down to min clearing. It's not just okay in X-Kalos. Look at Aran.
Like, playing it like solo is just not a fun time, but like in party bossing, it's really good for the party.
It loses a lot of value, though, in hard limbo and in a hard Baldrix. It loses almost all of its value in hard Baldrix, actually. And the reason why it loses so much value in limbo is because the domain is now only being given to 2 or 3 total people. And the bind, not really that... I mean, the bind isn't really that crazy in limbo. The boss doesn't do anything anyway. It's really a punching bag.
It loses its
like,
value,
who even cares?
for sure. I would say, it kind of feels like shit in every other situation in the game besides endgame bossing, for sure. The only time, it's like really, it's a good spot is when you're doing endgame bossing. Like, other than that, I'll take back all the shit, like... When we used to like meme and shit, like
we used to meme a bit too hard. We memed a bit too hard. But the domain and all that other shit, definitely quality of life needed. But the class has a very, very, very good kit though overall, especially in endgame.
Yes, 100%. Oh, Khali is okay. No one plays this class. I don't really fucking know. I don't see any representation. I feel like it's a good DPS. It's another good DPS class.
Yeah, that's what it needs to do. It's in the middle. It's in the middle. But like there's other classes like linking that 155k culvert isn't anything because I'll see other classes doing 200 plus. Like,
I think Khali's output comparable to a Cadena and Kain. It's literally right next to Kain. Like it's right next to it.
I think that's fine where it's at. Good DPS right in the middle.
Kinesis. No,
y'all agree or what?
It's a good DPS. It's a good Kinesis. Another decent DPS class. It's just there's nothing special about the class. It just does damage. It's a 3-minute class. It's a 3-minute bursty class. Like has decent 90s too.
Yeah, it's nothing special. Like the class is just, I would just say this is like a good bulletin for like.
There's a lot of classes that don't need much explanation to them. They're just in the middle of the pack for endgame party bossing.
Lara.
This is short and sweet. Lara.
The thing is, it has a really condensed burst, but it's like not even like the burst is like dog shit though. It's like not even good.
Right.
Like on paper, it's a really good burst class, but then it has no burst. No. Lara, I'm being so serious now. Lara absolutely belongs where it is. Like it needs buffs. It really does need buffs. It really does need
JPOV. No. Lumi. People were saying Lumi was so good, but it's like, when the fuck did Lumi just get a fuck ton of buffs or something? It's a DPM demon, but for endgame party bossing. It's not good with our current endgame party bossing meta. So for that reason, it goes in can fill, but not ideal. Yes, right now.
I would still think, though, that it goes in can fill, not ideal, though. I don't know. The DPM is good. The DPM charts are also good for solo only.
Hey, if you guys want to put in good DPS because it has amazing DPM and it outweighs not having the strongest burst, then I'll put it in. We can put it in good DPS. Honestly, if it's good, that's fire. Good DPS. We leave it there. Moving on to Lynn.
This is good in every situation, dude. It doesn't matter if it's X-Kalos, Aran, Limbo, obviously.
Bro, but the thing is, like,
don't drop me my ass.
It's so weird because that's at the top of must-have, but like, I don't even know if I would recommend people to make Lumi because of how low-key it's like volatile, bro. Like, you actually don't even know.
I would. But here's the thing, even after the nerf though, it still gets 55.
It's still pretty good after the nerf, yeah. It's just not like
it's still
insane.
Broke. That's fucking crazy good though. 55 FD and the DPM is diabolical in the class.
Yeah, it actually does pretty good damage in bossing too. It's not like insane, but it does really good damage.
The thing is too with Lynn is like it does good damage as well too. Like it's not just like a support bitch. Like it unironically does good damage. You know when you have a good Lynn and a bad Lynn in your party.
Essentially, and for people who are unaware of what Lynn even does, Lynn is pretty much doubling, well more than doubling your strongest member in the party. So like It's fucking crazy. It just doubles their damage. So it pretty much is like adding a whole new member to the party. Moving on to Marksman. Yo, this shit low-key meta, bro. Marksman is
I mean, the burst is good.
It's really, really good, bro. Bro, Marksman is really, really, really good right now, honestly. Like, the damage is insane. Good. It has a pretty good burst. Cool. It's a 2-minute class. It fits really good with Lynn. And it has good DPM, too. Like, it's really fucking good.
Hey, let's not forget about that crit rate, though. Let's not forget about
and it has SC too, and it's given SC.
That SC.
Okay, Marksman has Origin Cancel actually, so we're gonna move that down for that reason. Now, Marksman at the top of good DPS, very easy to play class as well too. It's not hard to get your damage off at all. Does what it needs to do. Top of good DPS, very, very strong currently. And scales a lot with attack speed.
Anyway, let's move to Mech. Mech is like very, very, very.
It just needs this shit. Low-key needs both, but since it gives party support, it gives. Does it give 10 DPS?
The support.
It actually might be moved up because of that.
It gives 10 FD and 10 ID. So it's like the support is valid. The support.
Bro, you would rather. Here's the thing, like you would rather when it comes to like party bossing, the fact that Mech support got nerfed, it's like you'd rather just pick up a Giga Juice DPS rather than a Mech. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. Because you have to remember, like, if the Mech, if the support is doing 500 T and another DPM, a very strong one, is doing one quad, right? Then that support needs to at least be contributing 500 T worth of support damage from everybody else, right? Like, so if it's not giving enough support to justify not having another DPM, why even take it? Just take another good support.
Yeah, it's really good if it's super strong though. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you see like juiced up mechs right now that are having trouble with like hard limo. It can easily clear, but it's like it's just not the best damage dealer right now.
To Mercedes.
I don't feel like this is about to be a hot take, bro.
I feel like it's kind of overrated right now.
Bro, I feel like this shit overrated as fuck right now, honestly.
Like, I don't,
low key. Here's the thing about Mercedes is why it would go meta is because it does offer support and then also has a really strong 3-minute burst. So it's condensed. It gets all its damage off. It works really well with like Shade and Lynn too.
It's giving what, 30% damage and 51 ID? Pretty good support for a class as strong as Mercedes.
Yeah, I mean, because of that reason too, it's a little bit harder a class to play. That's why it's like
it's kind of weird.
Whatever,
but yeah, it does.
Untouchable is like mid, but meta I can say in meta. I mean, that's Mihile in end game party bossing.
I mean,
it just goes in the middle of the pack with good DPS. Like, I don't think it goes in meta or anything like that though. This shit is not, it's not broke to go in meta, bro. It's just a good DPS.
Broke to go in meta.
You're not gonna die on it. That's a good. It has a good kick, good survivability, but that's it. Yeah, it's a good DPS.
The most, but like it gives a little bit.
Yeah. It offers handless pigs extra life support. Yeah, it does give a shield too for survivability, so it's better in bosses like X-Kalos and then in hard cowling as well for a little bit of a shield. It's not OP. Yeah, it's not OP. It's just in the middle. It's in the middle of the pack with good DPS. Like that's what it is. Oh, Nightlord. Nightlord works so good with the meta. It's at the top of good DPS. It is at the top of good DPS. I swear to God, if any Nightlord try to say that it's not, you're fucking trolling, bro. This shit is very good still.
Troll right now. I know this is the moment that all Nightlords have been waiting for. They've been.
It also offers frailty too, which is valid as fuck for a little bit of support.
Yes. It's huge. No, that's huge. Like, frailty is so good. Like, obviously it loses a little bit of value with being with a bishop and everything like that, but nah, Nightlord is very good. Nightlord
Move it to meta just to tilt though. Honestly, it should go in meta. Like, the burst is so condensed too. It fits in the meta perfectly for endgame bossing, and you're gonna always. You're gonna awaken the Nightlord more than half of your other DPSs, so it's super good for this current meta. Nightwalker.
Nightwalker.
This low-key might be a hot take. This low-key might be.
It ain't looking as good as they used to for this fucking
really
class,
good. It's just really good, bro. Like, this shit is just in.
It's kind of falling to overrated status.
Bro. Okay, honestly, I would have.
It definitely will go at the end of meta, but bro, it's not the same Nightwalker it used to be.
Bro, it's not. It's falling off where it's like other classes are getting giga buff, bro.
Guys, Shapaz doesn't equal Nightwalkers.
He doesn't, bro.
Shapaz's
okay, honestly, we'll go like this.
Fucking diabolical.
like that.
Shabaz's gear is diabolical. You guys are also stuck at a point where like Nightwalker was really, really good, and also like Shabaz was so ahead of everybody with his gear too that it made Nightwalker look even better than it was. Nightwalker's good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that anything other than that, but like if you take somebody with maxed out gear and they're ahead of everybody in the gear curve, they're gonna make the class look even better than it is.
Now, moving on to another meta class.
Yeah,
Khali, very,
really
very good
class.
for
and it's gonna
very, very, very good for endgame party bossing, bro.
Giving
15
more than
plus
that.
50 IED, and that's every 90 seconds. I believe it's every 90 seconds, and then it also is offering an iframe to one member for like what 20 seconds or some shit. Yeah, iframes the partners.
Iframes the party member.
Plus real combat orders. Plus real combat orders.
Real combat orders is actually super valid. Like some of y'all will think that's like cope, but that is actually so valid on some classes.
It is.
Some classes gain so much FD from that extra +1 from the combat orders is actually insane.
Pathfinder,
Very, very,
we're
very
gonna
good.
move on.
Yes.
Why this shit low key is ass, bro? The
Dude.
damage isn't greatest right now anyway.
Yeah. It does offer like it like of course it's giving the support, but the support doesn't make up for how bad the class actually is. Let's take a moment of silence here real quick, boys. Let's just take a moment of silence.
Block and report, and then we're gonna put Phantom in there. Is Phantom even that bad though? Is Phantom really even that bad though? Look, I've been saying it's decent, and then Phantoms say it's shit, and then the OP Phantoms say it's not shit. All the Phantoms that are geared say it's good. Listen, in party bossing though, it really is not that great. We've seen what that 3-minute burst is doing. Its burst is like very, very, very low, and
I think that shit's cope, bro. I think they're coping harder than I am when it comes to Adele. I think they're like so invested in the class that they have brutally convinced themselves that like their class is actually good, when in reality it's fucking dog shit. Anyway, Phantoms going at the bottom, and here's the thing, it's at the bottom right now.
Moving on to Shade. Has to go in meta, bro.
Crazy fucking good, dude. It's giving straight up 15 FD for 10 seconds.
It is
okay,
so
which is
good.
already
Holy shit.
unethically diabolical. 15 FD is fucking crazy.
Bro, honestly,
but
it's like up there with must-have, bro, with how good
on
it is.
top of
Low
that,
key.
it's giving
Low
80
key.
crit rate and 10%
Oh my god, wait, true.
crit
This
damage,
low key
bro.
isn't a must-have, bro. This
Like-
is actually insane. This class is so good, bro. It is
Yes.
so
Like,
good right now.
And the thing is, some people will just be like, well, it's only good for archer classes. Like, it's good for all classes, first of all, but it's insanely good for archer classes.
now
like,
we're putting it in must-have,
like,
bro. If you see this class, like, you need to pick it up in an endgame party
Yeah.
boss. Like, it's so
I mean, you
good.
guys see Joe's fucking 8 Limbo. Like, they're clearing with 5 minutes left of the clock with no titles, like, no externals.
Yes, the class is crazy.
It's diabolical.
And even though it might not have the strongest like origin burst to it, has really, really good DPM, and it's just what it's offering is just like insane. It's a low-key fucking broken, bro. Gate is a 75%
every 60
uptime
seconds.
too. Yeah, it's pretty much 75% uptime, so it's crazy.
45-second duration, bro.
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. So if
That's
you're an archer
diabolical.
paired with this, like you are with the
Oh my
Lynn too,
God.
like you are on fucking steroids, bro. Like
Wait, that's crazy. I didn't even realize the uptime. It's a 45-second summon duration with a 60-second cooldown. That is diabolical. And also, yes, it also gives a 20% damage debuff.
it's actually crazy.
oh my
It is
God.
crazy how good Shade is. This class is not even sleeper. It is so fucking broken right now. It is
Nah.
crazy. It is so
Nah.
good.
Hell
Moving on
yeah.
to Shadower. I think it goes at like top of good DPS.
Pretty good, yeah. I think it's pretty
Green
good. Like,
tier. I don't think it's meta, bro. I don't think it's meta.
Shadow's really, really, really good.
It's very
Like,
good.
obviously,
yeah.
a good and a bad Shadower, you know the fucking difference, okay? Like, you know the difference. It's giving 22% crit damage, which is obviously, like, the sweet, like, that's why a lot of people are looking at it as being so good in party bossing. But the burst is mid. But the
burst does no
DPM and the
damage.
mini burst, the DPM, though, and the mini burst do make up for the burst being so shit.
I just think at
Yeah.
the top of good DPS is fine, honestly. Like low key.
Yeah.
Now moving on to Thunderbreaker. This class goes
Thunderbreaker definitely in good
crazy,
DPS.
bro.
It's at the top of good DPS.
It's a good
This class
DPS.
is fucking broken.
Yeah,
class is
Shadower,
fucking
or not
broke,
Shadower,
bro, low-key.
Thunderbreaker goes like, I feel like right next to Nightlord, bro. It's a very good DPM. It's a DPM demon.
Yeah.
It definitely
Yeah,
is
I was gonna
very
say,
strong
like,
right
at the
now.
top.
It's very,
Like,
very,
it's up
very
there.
strong. Yeah.
And it's an H level clear with ease too. Like
Yeah, of course.
Thunderbreaker is one of those classes that easily clears without Lynn. Like it doesn't need a Lynn at all to clear. Not even close. Not even close.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
good.
the damage is very, very, very strong in this shit. So for that reason, Thunderbreaker's going there. It is. I mean, you're doing a lot. You're fucking, well, not doing a lot, but you're having to press. You're having to press the same fucking buttons over and over, bro. Like your hand really going crazy. Good survivability too. Good movement too on the class as well. Has iframes. And it's a 2-minute class, so it fits perfect as well. Wild Hunter. This shit is ass.
I think it's dog shit, but I think you could argue a point that it could go in can fill. Not ideal. It does have a very strong origin. Like,
well, it fits really good with the Lynn meta though. Like, it fits good with our meta currently. Just weak like Phantom, but people think these two classes are unworkable.
Any of these classes can do all the content as well. Like, I'll be honest though, Wild Hunter had the smallest time being like remotely usable in party. Like the time where Excalus was like meta stacking like a motherfucker, and it got stripped away in like literally 2 weeks. It was good for like 2 weeks, and then they just removed the shit.
I think can fill but not ideal is low-key good for Wild Hunter, honestly. Wind Archer, strong DPS is like good DPS. I think it goes at like the end though.
I think it's towards the end. Yes, it's definitely.
It's like in the middle or some shit.
It doesn't give any like.
It's not ass at all. Wind Archer does what it needs to do. Wind Archer does what it needs to do. It's a 2-minute class.
It's not only good in DPM. It's not only good in DPM.
2-minute class has crazy good survivability. Has pretty decent DPM. Has a decent burst.
Yeah. It doesn't do anything on the support end. Like it's giving a little bit IED and it like slows the boss.
It's not the same as Bowmaster. It's not the same as Bowmaster. With the way it works, it's not the same in the meta. It's not.
They seem the same. But I assure you they are not.
I don't think it's a bad class at all. I think Wind Archer is really good, but it's a good DPS.
It's super solid.
Like,
but it's more DPM oriented. It's got a decent burst, but it's nothing crazy. But Bowmaster's burst is all burst.
Bowmaster's burst is just really good with the current meta. Wind Archer doesn't have the burst is super condensed. It's really good with shade. It's really good with shade though.
Of course.
Because it's condensed in like that 15-second window with the tornadoes and shit. Xenon! Yo,
dude, I'm gonna be honest. Like,
why am I low key? This low key a hot take though. Like,
this gonna get you canceled.
This shit low key ass, bro.
This gonna get you canceled.
Honestly, bro, this shit low key ass. I think it's at the top of good DPS. Honestly, I don't know why. Look,
it's like
it does a fuck ton of damage.
And then also the neediness of having the boss to work like Kinesis, where it's like if the boss moves an inch, you're fucked.
If the boss were to move out of your laser, you literally are stuck.
You're done.
Like it's insane.
Minus 100 FD. It's insane.
So at the top of good DPS, I think it's a good spot for it. I really do think it's a good spot. Moving on to Xenon though, or Zero. Okay, Zero is going at. I mean, it's meta for sure. I don't think it's must. It's definitely not must have. It's not must have, bro.
It's not must have. No.
It's just like giga juice.
I'm sorry.
Maybe at the top.
You can't put it in must have. You could put it maybe at the top of meta.
There's no way it's must have. There's no way.
Must have is like that's like you drinking the Kool-Aid, bro.
The damage is of course insane. It's so good. The damage is crazy.
The class is OP because of how it performs in solo bossing, but like we're talking about party bossing as well too.
Yes.
Of course, board as well too. Yeah, but like the overall class, I would say definitely top of meta.
Yeah, I think at the top of meta. I don't think it's at the same level as Shade Bishop or Lynn though. Like honestly,
those are like on a different level. I don't know.
They really are. Like the FD that they're giving to the party is crazy. This is a party bossing end game party bossing tier list. I low-key think this is pretty decent, honestly.
I think this is
and what we think about this. And what we think about this one.
Some of our best work.